And we are live! Hello everyone, welcome back to another Final Fantasy Friday. I am Jim the editor, and with me, as always, is my trusty sidekick, Chris from Pokemaniacal. Chris from Pokemaniacal. Hi Chris, how you doing?
My sidekick, thank you.
Yes. Yes I am. Whoops, I didn't have it on set up to the other page, so people are just seeing Titus paused at the moment. I forgot to set up to the title page, but that's fine. Everyone will forgive that, because no one's watching. Now, let's get into it. Shall we? Where are we? We're in Rin's shop. Literally no one watching right now.
So I need to have YouTube open to do that.
Yeah, that would help. I mean, it wouldn't help right now, but it would help one day. When we have viewers at some point. So last time, we beat the evil Chocobo Menace, because it was the right thing to do. And now we've already used our free Chocobo. We could get another Chocobo, I suppose. Do we have to pay for it? Let's find out.
I don't think we do, no.
I thought it was the first one we got for free. Yeah, see? 1,000 gil.
That's very steep.
Yeah, but we need them. We need it for the what's-a-majiggers, the secret chests and things on this.
This is true.
On this road. And I mean, we can do some grinding in a bit. In the meantime, let's enjoy the happy Chocobo music, and you know, just rock out. Where is this feather? It's one of the least subtle mechanics in this game. Is that is randomly look, a feather on the ground? We can do some cool kind of cutscene thing.
It's very jaunty music, isn't it?
It's so good. It's so good. Oh, a heat lance. Well, all of a sudden, Chris, we're surrounded by people. There are 5 people watching our chat now. Hello, everyone.
Oh, hello.
We'll talk to them later. By them, I didn't mean the chat people. I meant those 2 idiots. I think I missed one of the feathers up the top. Who knows, though? Who knows? There's one around here somewhere. There it is.
I don't remember where all these things are.
I mean, that's fair. You haven't played this game as much as I have. Or as recently as I have. I'm not even really sure that these weapons are that valuable. Oh, a scout! We've got one of those, except it's got Ice Strike and gives things health. Isn't that right, Chris?
Sure.
Sure.
What are you doing on this?
Oh, you know.
I see.
That explains everything.
We have sealed off the area beyond for the door. You may ask the gate cap.
Explains everything, Chris. You know.
By which the game designers mean they can't think of a reason.
Well, no. So there could be 2 reasons that you're on this road, right? So one of the ways you get to this road is by being knocked down by the Chocobo Eater.
The big monster thingy, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's legitimately one way where you can be like, yeah, you know, I was bad at life. That's why I got kicked down here. Mars Crest. There we go. So yeah, that's one way of being kicked down, but also there's the way that we're doing it, and we're just bad at exploring. Or very good at exploring. One of the 2. Oh, that's a camera angle and a half.
Coming down to the old road was a mistake.
Good morning, Anaphysic. Thank you for the helpful cheat sheet of who our people are and what they're supposed to be doing.
It's always good, rather.
Spare some change, lad?
Not that we ever listen to it, and we... Poor Anaphysic, who did so much work for us, watching back our old videos to create the cheat sheets that we were using, only for us to figure out that we'd messed it up completely last week. For those of you who don't know, yeah, no sweat.
Make it up.
I just gave away all our money, Chris.
Good.
For those of you who don't know, we are setting ourselves a challenge this time round,
Mistake.
and making our characters go down the complete wrong lines. Because why not, right, Chris?
Absolutely, why not? We've played this game a bunch of times. It just wouldn't be fun if we did things that made sense.
I mean, yeah, sure. But it's
It's challenging yourself. It's like a Nuzlocke, right?
yeah, exactly. If the game's not made fun enough, then you make your own fun.
Yeah.
This battle's not going to go well for us, I don't think. Just throwing that out there. And yeah, it's a regular battle, so I'm not going to obey our changes. We decided last week that was boss game only, right?
And then we dealt with the boss mostly by summoning an Aeon.
Yeah. But that's fair play, I think. But how do I only have Spiral Cut? See, that speaks to how little grinding we've done, Chris. I've still got Spiral Cut. By this point in my game, I will sometimes have Energy Rain. Which is his third
You were
limit
a
break.
crazy person.
I mean, almost undoubtedly, but, you know. Am's what I am's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all what I am's?
Crazy is as crazy does.
You're a crazy dove. Anyway, at some point we'll talk about our weeks and things like that. At the moment, we're just so engrossed in this game, aren't we, Chris?
Absolutely.
You've had a big week, haven't you?
Well, yes and no.
I hear you're not dying.
Yeah, I'm not well, I was dying, but I was dying of an ordinary cold, which is fine.
Yeah. You were worried that you were dying faster than usual, and you were dying faster than usual, but just not as fast as you were worried that you were dying.
Yes,
Is that
exactly.
is that right?
Something like that.
Exactly that, I think. I think you'll find.
Yeah, we had a new COVID outbreak in New Zealand, which we are still dealing with, and we are going to win. We are going to squelch it. It's going to be 2-0 to New Zealand.
New Zealand to COVID, rest of the world.
To COVID, yeah. So it's fine.
What next?
But very shortly after the lockdown was announced, I came down with a cold, which I had obviously caught just before the lockdown.
So you were a bit worried that you were dying.
Yes, well, I was fairly confident it was a cold because it felt like a cold and I didn't have a fever or a dry cough or the things that you're supposed to get with COVID. But, you know, it's better to get tested, right?
Yeah. And because I mean, even if it looks like a cold and smells like a cold, I mean, coronavirus is, from what I understand, is fairly Pardon? I missed that.
It's a treacherous disease.
It is absolutely, and that's almost the exact phrase I was looking for. Is that it's sneaky.
It will lie to you.
It lies to everyone. None of the symptoms seem to be regular across people, so I mean, fair enough, go get checked. And you are now the only person I know that has actually had a COVID test.
This
So-
is surprising to me. Do you not know anyone in St. Andrews who's been tested?
No, England... Sorry, the UK. One of the reasons that the UK has such a relatively low rate of... or high rate of deaths per coronavirus infections is because they only test you if you go into a hospital.
Oh.
Yeah. Or
I
at least
see the issue.
for a long time, that was the only way or the only reason for you to get tested. Because they were like, if you have these symptoms, don't go to a hospital, stay at home, isolate yourself, and if it gets worse, go to a hospital. So that's what we had here. So I know people who have probably had coronavirus, because all their symptoms like check out, but they haven't tested positive for it, because they haven't been tested. I mean, that's a Trumpism, isn't it?
Almost, yeah.
I mean, you only have so many positive tests.
The only reason there are so many cases in the US is because they're testing so many people.
I mean, and it's garbled English and it's garbled sense, but it's not complete nonsense, which I tend to find is the way that he works, right? I mean, he moves in mysterious ways, absolutely, and nonsensical ways.
I don't even think it's completely untrue. It's just clearly not the only factor in play.
Yeah, exactly. And for the first time today, Chris, we're welcoming Tony to the stream. Hello, Tony. Nice to see your bird-like form. You are keeping an eye on the chat, by the way. I haven't actually seen anything pop up, so I didn't even see Anna's chat.
Oh, well, I have the chat open here. I will let you know if anyone turns up.
Thank you, I appreciate that. That's originally why we got you on this. Not because it would be fun, but because you could manage. But you're also reasonably fun. I'll concede that these days. I'm gonna see if Walker's new scout is any good. So we go from an Ice Strike scout to a Lightning Strike scout, where there are.
As we move into an area with some lightning-based enemies.
Yeah. Walker's on top of things.
Good plan.
Man. I can see Anna now. I restarted it. Thank you, Anaphysic, for those cheat sheets. Chris has already said that, but I wish to reiterate it, because without you, we'd be even more blind than we already are. Do you think that's fair, Chris?
Yeah, it seems reasonable.
I mean, I just think it seems accurate rather than reasonable. Come on, Titus, use some magic.
Miss me?
So you had an actual coronavirus test, Chris. So what was that like?
Yes, I went to a doctor. He stuck a thing up my nose.
Now, you're no stranger to having strange tubes up your nose.
No, I suppose not. I have had strange tubes up my nose before.
Most famously when, Chris?
At your 21st birthday party, I had a tube up my nose.
Yeah, you gave a speech at my 21st birthday party looking like you were some kind of, like, straight out of the intensive care unit.
It's fine. I was fine.
I mean,
being tested for something I don't quite remember.
I remember. Your family were sorry, your family were concerned that you were burping a lot, so you had a pH meter inserted into your stomach, wasn't it?
Oh, something like that.
And every time you burped, you had
my
to
nose and down my throat.
Yeah, and every time you burped, you had to press some kind of button so that it would measure the pH of your burps.
Oh. I don't remember that.
I thought you had like a little pack that you had to press. That's what I remember, at least. The crazy times. Yeah, you looked. It was not overly pretty. I mean, it turned out fine, right? Is right. It turned out fine. So, anyway, sorry, I interrupted your story. Tube up the nose.
Did I? Was there a story? Oh, well, no, I mean, that is kind of the whole story. I went to my GP. I sat in the car outside the office. So that I wouldn't have contact with anyone, and then he came out wearing the full sort of disposable robe and mask and things like that, gloves and so on. And then he stuck a thing up my nose.
Stuck his thing up your nose.
One of the cotton swab things.
Ah, right.
This is the last.
Sounds very medical.
Good to have you with us. Go on
Yes,
through.
absolutely. Medical.
Oh, in the meantime, we're having some story is happening, Chris.
Wait around. We'll
Should
have
we
Sid
talk
meet you
about-
in no time.
I mean, the Crusaders are crusading. Gata and Luzu are going off to crusade. And they've got with them a sin spawn by the looks of things. We just saw her inside.
Any donation toward
Because that's
Operation
clearly a
Mayhem
good
would be
plan.
greatly appreciated.
I mean, it's obviously the best plan.
Thank you.
Oh, we got another scout. I wonder what kind of strike this has. Waka? Oh, it's just a sensor scout. That's, I mean... Fine.
Arguably better.
Yeah, we won't be giving
Any
things health
donation toward
anymore.
Operation... Many thanks.
An ice lance, we don't need that.
No.
Should have sold a whole lot of stuff. Oh, I didn't mean to go into this cutscene. It's this lady, your
Sorry,
favorite.
ma'am. No exceptions.
So fun.
You dare impede a
It's
summoner's pilgrimage?
it's such an interesting outfit choice
Sorry,
for
ma'am.
traveling the roads.
No exceptions.
Yeah,
Fish,
she must get
fishnet
cold,
stockings,
right?
fishnet stockings, heels, arseless chaps, and a thong. That is to the lower half of her garments.
I guess Spira is probably quite hot,
As you can
right?
see, not even summoners can pass.
I mean, it might be summer. I don't know. This whole story takes place over the next
In
few
the
days.
meantime, I think I'll have a nap.
I think the a lot of the art and architecture and culture of Spira is supposed to be based on Southeast Asia, so it may be sort of subtropical.
Oh
Maybe
no, I don't
that's
want.
just what she's comfortable wearing.
I mean, power to her. Power to her. If that's what she feels most comfortable, and I mean, she's a summoner, so we're not going to. We shouldn't kind of impugn her her dignity. Hey, where did Machin go?
I don't know.
I was going to talk to Machin when on our way back, but he's disappeared now. Fire beats ice, right? That's a thing that happens. Except apparently it doesn't in Lulu's case because her magic isn't good enough. Oh dear. We're coming up to what's going to be about the hardest part of the game.
Magic. Got it.
Yeah, there we go. Got it. Got it.
He's getting better at that.
Word has gotten
Yeah, I
around
mean,
about
he's not
me. Now all
awful.
the Crusaders are ignoring me.
Oh, poor Shalinda.
Word has gotten around. Now all the Crusaders.
At times, it must be hard. I need to... Chris, we need to sell some things. That's why I'm going back to Rin's shop, so that we can afford the best of the bonuses.
Why is it something important?
I don't think so. I'm just a completionist like that. You know me, I like to finish things. Get things done. Don't waste any time. You know, PhD, in, out, 4 and a bit years. None of this American 1,000 years crap.
It does take a long time.
It does take a very long time. But you've learned very many things.
I've learned some things. I've learned at least 3.
What are the 3 things that you've learned?
Okay. I learned about Torrential frescoes at Avaris.
Yeah, where is Avaris?
It's in Egypt. It was the Hyksos capital during the Second Intermediate period.
Those all sound like things.
They are. They definitely are. I learned about how both countries
No
work.
time to waste. Let's
Mhm.
go.
And Oh, that's a big thing. Maybe there were only two things.
Come back to your microphone, Chris. You've run away from it.
No.
Well, I can't argue with that. That was fairly definitive. This is going to be me and the faint shade of Chris's voice from the deep abyss for the rest of the for the rest of our time. Tony has to come back because we're dealing with 3 bombs, and we don't want to get blown up.
Probably not.
And none of our characters are powerful enough to kill them in 3 hits.
I remember the third thing. I learned that you're more likely to be elected censor in Republican Rome if you've had a triumph during your consulship.
I mean, that kind of sounds like common sense.
You'd think so, but I don't think anyone has ever published this fact before. I actually had to go and look at the consul list and figure it out.
Ah, hello Tony. Welcome to the chat. You've made 2 appearances already this episode, both to use Giant Energy Ray of Doom, which is actually more like Small Energy Ray of Mild Doom, but, you know, rather up it so that, you know, branding purposes, right?
And good morning, Braun.
Oh yeah, hi Bron. And yeah, there's not really much I can do about that. And at this stage, it's Chris's microphone's fault. I blame him.
I can only apologize.
Yeah, if you get nice and close, then it's fine, Chris. Chris and the game are both on the same channel, so I suppose I could turn the game down, but then you'd have to watch me do that. So I could, or Chris could...
I could lean in over my laptop.
See, that's much better, Chris. Everything you said after lean in was perfect.
Yeah, it's not comfortable, but I'll see what I can do.
Well, I mean, you've already gotten up this early. You may as well be slightly discomforted if it's going to give everyone else a better experience. That checks out, right?
No, see, I follow the logic differently. I think that I've gotten up early, so everyone else should be uncomfortable for my sake.
I mean, I don't think I can argue with that either.
So be it.
Come on, Oren. Good, got it. What? What are you doing, bro? If I didn't know Bron was a 10-year-old, I would say he's been hitting the source early. And it's not even that early. It's 8 PM here, so it's a perfectly legitimate time to on a Friday night to be in your cups. But come on, Bron. If only Chris's microphone, we could insert Chris's microphone directly into his larynx. Now that would work.
Not that I don't appreciate the suggestion, but having had tubes up my nose before has not endeared me to the possibility of having more tubes up my nose in future. I think tubes in my nose, in general, as a general guideline, should stay separate.
I mean, but what if we put one tube up there, and that was the only tube that ever had to be up there ever again, and it just stayed up there forever?
Yeah, that doesn't seem great either, to be honest.
See, that sounds just like you're complaining.
Yes, that is exactly what it is.
No one likes a complainer, Chris. You know what happens to the squeaky wheel?
If I remember rightly, it gets greased.
No, it gets replaced, Chris. It gets replaced.
I don't think that's the saying.
Squeaky wheel gets replaced.
No sweat.
That's exactly the same. That's why I go through life making as little noise as possible. I'm silent like a mouse.
So that you don't get replaced?
Yeah. Yeah. All those times that I just like, yep, nod, this is a great article, Chris. Absolutely perfect. Don't change anything.
I don't think you've ever said that.
I have never said that. No, normally our process is get into an hour-long discussion and a small argument about minutiae.
Yes.
This is great, but that's my general go-to with you.
This is great, except for the part where it's terrible, and I disagree completely.
I don't think it's ever terrible. I'm just like, this is a bit dumb. And you're like, hey, I don't think it's dumb, I think it's right. And I say, well, you're welcome to that opinion. It is your blog. But here are all my reasons that it is dumb. And now that you've challenged me, I'm gonna go all in on it. Oh, Jesus, Chris. If you're gonna do that, don't do it into the microphone.
I didn't. I turned my head and I covered my mouth with my elbow and then...
I don't know what anaphysics comment means, Chris. Can you explain it to me?
Really not properly counting the storytelling accuracy from Jim. I don't actually know what that means.
I don't even know. I don't think that makes it any more obvious, Anna. Sorry, my mind is elsewhere. Chris has no excuses. He's just watching this on a laptop early in the morning.
Exactly, early in the morning. That's my excuse.
I don't think that's a fair excuse.
I am at least 4 hours away from being awake.
Oh, I don't deny that. I never said that, do I want that? No, I don't really want that. I never said it was fair or easy on you, but, don't want that. And I don't want that. And I don't want that. I'm trying to get up to 10,000 gil, so I'm just selling things that I don't want. That might come in handy. Don't need that. Jeez, Chris, come on. What? Are you sure you're not dying? That sounded like a dry cough to me. I think you have the Rona. You must have got it at the doctor's office.
I'm fine. I'm not dying.
Everyone on the stream, you need to get tested now. This is how it spreads.
Through the internet, yes.
Through the internet. And the 5Gs.
Cyber COVID strain.
I'm very glad that you're on your iPad, Bron. Say hello to the Sims family for me. I hope you're all doing well. And are all safe down there. Down there for me, up there for Chris. 10,000. Got there. Easy. Easy as that. Now we just have to march all the way back. Chris! Stop trying to make our fans leave.
I am not.
Stop trying to make our fans leave. I say fans, our friends leave. They're our friends now. Everyone who's on the stream, you're now our friends. Officially. Friend of the blog and now friend of the channel. You can all claim that. In fact, if anyone ever comments on any of Chris's blog posts, you are welcome to use that as a sign-off. I give you permission. Oh, and Walker's confused. And he's our guy who knows the anti-confusion thing.
Seronimus here as well. Good morning.
Hey Seronimo, nice of you to join us. I mean, basically everything bad that happens to Chris is another funny story for me. So I'm swimming in them. Nearly swimming in them. But yeah. Oh, Seronimo's in the chat. Let's get Seronimo out here.
Good plan. Gotta blow something up.
Exactly. I guess we probably should ask Anaphysic which Aeon they want named after them. Because Ixion's next. I quite like Shiva. But you can have your pick, really. Easy there, Bron. Can't go insulting people. You haven't yet, but I got my eye on you. It's only half an eye, and it's mostly directed at my computer screen and not the chat, but it's an eye. So, the last 2 days in Scotland, Chris, there have been... So Scotland, roughly about the same population as New Zealand. Last 2 days, there have been 77 and 74 new cases of coronavirus, and they haven't changed a thing. They're like, no, this is fine. This is absolutely fine. In fact, we expected this. This is just a symptom of everyone going back to school and there being no social distancing at schools. And like, yeah, fine, we expected this.
That seems... Yeah. That seems like a compelling argument in favor of not going back to schools.
Well, it's going to be great in the next couple of weeks when universities start going back.
Are you doing anything for the University of St. Andrews?
I mean, I'm still employed by the Energy Ethics Research Project. Shout out to everyone who follows us on Twitter, because that's me. On their Twitter page. So I...
No one follows you on Twitter.
I know. Well, no, actually, on that one, like 70 people, and you're one of them. But yeah, so I work for...
Yeah, but I don't pay attention.
No, I know you don't.
Allow me.
I have to ask you to retweet things. Story of my life. So I work for the Energy Ethics Project at the University of St. Andrews. Not as a researcher, and I just got my job title updated, Chris. Because I was something awful. I was the IT support. But I've just been had my job title changed to what I actually do. Anna, it's all yours. And do you want the full Anna Physic name, or do you have a preference of that? Completely up to you. But anyway, I'm not a researcher on the project. I was IT support, and now I've got my actual title, which is Digital Communications Officer, Chris. So I am now officially an officer.
If you're an officer, do I have to call you sir?
No, just Doctor Officer. I think if you start getting upgraded, or if you start getting promoted, rather, upgraded, if you start getting promoted past officer, then eventually you're going to have to call me Dr. Lieutenant, Dr. Lieutenant, Sergeant Doctor, you know, all these wonderful titles that I can start accruing. And you know how I love a title.
You do love a title. You have quite a list of them somewhere.
Yeah. Oh no, that was on the old MSN, our old MSN page. That's how old Chris and I are. We used to chat with MSN, which is not quite AOL levels of being old.
In part because I refused to get Facebook for a long time.
Yeah, you were a Facebook denier for a very, very long time. Until 2011, I want to say.
I think so, yeah.
Oh no, you got it when you went to Greece, didn't you?
Yeah, that was 2011, the first time I went on an archaeological dig.
Yeah. Where did you go, Chris, on your first ever archaeological dig?
I went to Iklina.
Where is
Iklina? A Mycenaean palace a little bit outside Pylos.
And where is Pylos?
It's in...
it's next to Iklina, of course.
Yeah, exactly. If you... you know that the bit of Greece that's kind of a dangly hand, the Peloponnese?
I know the Peloponnese,
sort of, yeah. Well, yeah, not everyone does. So it's the dangly hand bit of Greece.
It's where Sparta is.
Yeah. Pylos is sort of the knuckle on the pinky.
You need to lean into your microphone again, Chris.
I was. Should I repeat that?
It's like the pinky, I believe you said.
It's the knuckle on the pinky. It's like the first knuckle on the pinky of the dangly hand of Greece.
I'm sure that made it clearer for everyone.
I am certain it did.
So, what university was that with?
That was the University of Missouri at St. Louis.
Ah. No, fair enough. And you were there for 5 weeks, was it?
Something like that, yeah.
And what was the coolest thing you found on your first ever excavation?
I personally found almost nothing cool. I found almost nothing interesting.
I mean, you have to put that in perspective, though.
My trench found a little bronze figurine on the day when it was my turn to have my lab rotation and I wasn't in the field.
I mean, that would be really cool. But you have to put it in perspective, right? Because, I mean, we're archaeologists.
Yeah.
So, nothing cool to us is somewhat different to nothing cool for people who...
I found a pottery deposit. That was reasonably cool. I found a huge stack of broken pots.
Huge stack of broken pots.
We're used to finding broken pots, but a huge stack of broken pots, that's something special.
It is, actually. It is. So, for those unversed in Mediterranean archaeology in particular, it's really weird. Because just about with every stroke of your trowel, you bring up a piece of pottery. I don't think that's even hyperbole. If you're... Is it, Chris? If you're going through if you're going through lived-in layers, like layers of habitation, then with every stroke of your trowel, you
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, you come up with something. And I mean, if it's not pottery, there's a lot of bone lying around from various animals in particular, because, I mean, there's no real rubbish dump, right? So if there's an old abandoned house, you chuck all your rubbish on that pile. And it lasts forever because it's bone and pottery. So when you say you found nothing cool, you probably found a truck ton of pottery.
Yeah, and there is some question as to whether that counts as cool.
I think it does. It's certainly cool. I had my first excavation.
On that dig, I developed a prototype coolness scale, which I don't think I used again and developed further, but I had a coolness scale for things we found, where 1 was a nondescript small shard of pottery, and 10 was the Mask of Agamemnon.
Right, and you were sitting, like, fairly comfortably where for most of your time?
I think I personally found with my own 2 hands was something like a 2.3.
Well, that's fairly low, but it's a fairly broad scale.
Hey, you're a summoner.
Yeah.
Do we want to learn about the operation, Chris?
Should
we speak about the game a little bit more?
Guardians, right? Sorry for the inconvenience.
Is that really what we're here for?
I mean, I don't really know what we're here for. Mostly, I'm here to talk to you and hang out with people that want to hang out with us.
What, they didn't
Final Fantasy is
tell you?
mostly an
We're
excuse.
bringing Sin Spawn from all over Spira here.
This is what they're doing. It seems like a great idea.
Inevitably draw sin, right? We're going to lure it into a trap.
Oh, good.
That's a terrible plan.
It's
sorry,
one
That is
of
a
the
terrible plan.
it's one of the worst plans I've ever heard. Oh well, we can't pass. Let's go to a cutscene. Oh, it's that guy with other guy and taller other guy. Guado 1 and Guado 2.
Do they have names?
we meet again, lady.
Do you want to give them names?
Yes?
You look
Honestly,
troubled.
no.
Is there anything I can do?
I want one of them to be called Trudge.
I kind of just want to call them Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
I think Trudge and Cudgel.
I see.
Meister Seymour.
You can choose which one is which.
I have a request.
Yes, Your Grace.
I need to have Summoner Yuna and her guardians let through to the command center.
But
So which one's Trudge, which one's Cudgel?
Mr. Seymour, sir.
I think the tall
Do
one is
not worry.
Cudgel.
Okay,
I will
that's
take
fair.
full
I
responsibility.
just thought it might be a little bit harsh calling the Hunchback one
Very
Trudge.
well, they may pass.
Hmm. I don't know if he's hunchbacked. I think some Guado just look like that.
I mean, some people just look like that too.
Thank you, Your Grace.
We got some awkward interactions coming up soon with Seymour and Waka. Looking forward to that.
Yuna, it's time to go. Oh, right.
Yeah, she was bowing so hard, didn't even realize it was time to go.
Hmm.
Who does he think he is?
Honestly, yeah.
Better
Fair.
get used to it, yeah?
I mean, he is a maester. Titus has been told that he's a fairly important, person. Just for everyone, what I'm gonna do, just for a second, I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna do this lovely thing where I can change the settings. And I can turn that down, and in particular the music down.
Is my sound that bad?
I mean, I just want to help people hear you, Chris, because, it's important that you're heard. It's important to me that you're heard. So
I don't know if it's that important that I'm heard.
I think that'll be better for everyone.
Hmm.
Good thing I did some audio engineering back in the day. That was very low stakes audio
All hail
engineering just then, by the
Mr.
way.
Seymour.
All hail, Maester Seymour.
All hail.
Oh, come on,
Brave
Trudge. Oh,
crusaders
there's
of
Cudgel.
Spira, protectors of all Spira. Believe in the path you have chosen. Let faith be your strength. I, Seymour
This is
Guado,
so messed up.
Maester of Yevon, will bear witness to your deeds today.
Sir,
Oh, this whole thing is so messed
what's
up.
going on?
Oh, look at the eyebrow! Look at the eyebrow!
They're using Albed's Machina.
Look how mad he
violating the
is!
teachings.
Even going against
And it's just the inside of the eyebrow.
To risk it for the greater good. Waka, I think Maester Seymour sees that too.
Lulu,
Don't look at me. Aw,
I can
boo.
only speculate.
Got it wrong.
Ask him yourself.
I'm with Lulu.
This is gonna be great. I love this scene. Okay, so Chris, now that you're louder, when you do that, it's
It
even
is
louder.
an honor.
Yeah, I am
would be
turning
most
away, I
interested in hearing
promise.
what you've been
I'm
doing
leaning
for
back
some
and
years.
turning my head away,
I've
and
got nothing to say about it.
I don't know what else to do here.
See. Sir Aron must be a great asset as a guardian.
Your Grace.
Please, there's no need for formalities.
excuse
Oh
me.
god.
Maester
So
Seymour,
awkward.
why is your
Your
lordship...
lordship presently present
Present
here.
here.
Please, speak as you
Oh,
normally
Waka.
would.
Presently present.
Isn't this operation against the teachings of Yevon? Aren't you gonna stop them?
It's true. I should. However, both the
Oh, it's just
Crusaders
little
and the
sounds.
Albed truly wish peace for Spira. This Operation Mihen was born from that wish they share. Although it may
Yeah,
be
the
sacrilege to
Operation,
Yevon,
the
their
Crimson Squad
intentions
thing was
are
pretty
pure.
wild. That's from Final Fantasy X
Seymour
too.
Guado, the person, not the Maester of Yevon. As a denizen of Spira, I wish them well in their endeavor.
What's a denizen,
But
Chris?
using
Where does that come
Machina,
from?
That's bad, isn't it?
Pretend you didn't
I
see
actually
them.
don't know where it comes from etymologically.
Beg your pardon,
Denizen.
but that's not something a maester should say.
If only we had some kind of magic thing that you could
You're
type
kidding.
things into. And answers
If
to
only.
there.
Great eyes on
If
her.
only.
I
Yeah.
never did like Seymour. But
What a
some of the
miraculous
things
future
he
that
said
would
that
be.
day, they made a lot of sense to me.
Pretend you didn't hear it is a great line. We just talked all over it, but it is a great line.
What is?
The pretend I didn't say it. Pretend.
Oh.
All right, now
Denizen. Origin. Late Middle English Danesen via Anglo-Norman French from Old French Danes within from
Okay, we
Latin
don't give us the
Dale.
highlights, Chris, not the whole thing.
I don't know that there are highlights.
Then just, I mean, we'll pretend it never happened. We'll pretend I
It's
never
a pretty
asked.
boring word.
That's disappointing. It sounds exciting.
Right. The change in the form of the word was due to association with citizen.
I still don't need to know any of this.
You asked.
Yeah, but I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah, well, this is what you get for thinking that things will be fun.
I guess I deserved it. Guess I deserved it.
You
Anyway,
thought this would be fun.
yeah. See, Tony agrees with me. It's a hugely poignant line, and it kind of reveals, to some extent, like the facade that Yevon really is, which I think is quite cool. There we go. And it's it's as if they can read my mind, Chris. People answering all my deepest, darkest desires. Like the meaning of the word denizen and the etymology thereof. It just means people who live in a den, right? Citizens live in cities, denizens live in dens.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Why not?
Sorry, Geronimo, you're gonna die here. Whoops.
Oh dear.
I got so excited about the word denizen that I wasn't paying attention. But these kinds of things happen all the time. There, go Titus.
So a question I had the last time I played this game was, why actually does Seymour support Operation Mayhem?
I mean, it's a
Because
very
he's
fair question.
lying about everything and he's awful and whatever,
me,
but
Lady
what
Summoner
actually
Yuna?
is the point from his
Yes.
perspective?
The
Doesn't he
command
want to
center.
show Yuna the destructive
Maester
power of
Seymour
sin?
requests your presence there, man.
And
Maybe he's already seen that.
Thank you.
no, but like combined with his power,
Take that road to the
showing
command center. It's not far.
her definitively
We're still
that
in the
sin
midst of
needs to be
preparations this
defeated
way.
in order to
Sorry.
drive her towards things that give people hope and him, because he's powerful, right?
I guess.
Ugh, people who live in Denny's. I hear Denny's. What's Denny's like, Chris? We don't have them in New Zealand.
I've never been to a Denny's.
I've never been to a Denny's either. We're not Denizens.
No, clearly not.
I really don't want to fight this battle.
Too bad.
Grenades.
We all have to do things we don't want to do.
Yeah, it's true. Oh no, Seymour absolutely expects it to fail, Anna. And that's the point, right? Is that he wants to demonstrate that the only way to do it is the final summon, and solidify Yuna's resolve, which it does. I mean,
Yeah,
she
but,
talks
like,
about it afterwards.
Yuna already believes that the only way to beat Sin is the final summon. Like, that doesn't seem like something she needs to be convinced of, or that anyone needs to be convinced of.
No, I think Yuna has hope for Operation Mihin. And like I think we're thinking of Yuna as we kind of see her, especially towards the middle and the end of the story, as being the strong-willed woman, really. Not just a summoner, but as I hit my microphone, doing exactly the thing that I told you not to do. But I think to the rest of the world, she is so young. And she's so inexperienced. She's only just started becoming a summoner. That maybe he does think that she needs that extra push. What items do you have? We get a super discount now, Chris, because we gave him so much money.
Excellent.
We can buy
We're
things.
making a fortune with Operation Mayhem prices. But you, lad,
And that's exactly right as well. It does lend support to the traditional power structures. You do get the Crusaders after you go to the Temple of Jose. You get the Crusaders saying that this was their punishment for going against the teachings of Yevon. So they become, I mean, some of them become warrior monks. They talk about leaving the Crusaders. So it kind of, this destroys the power of, in part, the Albed, but also the Crusaders, who are operating in antithesis to Yevon at this point.
I mean, that's all true, but I feel like Seymour could still get the same goal by opposing the operation.
Yeah, that's true too. I don't know, Chris, you write a better version. Yeah,
No,
that's
I mean,
Tony's
the
exactly
last
right.
time- the last time this came up, the last time I was playing this game and thinking about this, I entertained the idea that maybe at this point he just sincerely hasn't gone off the deep end yet. But I'm also not sure that that's
True.
necessarily supported by everything else that we see.
Well, I mean, we find out that he was responsible for releasing the Fiends at Luca 2 episodes ago. Last episode? Some time ago.
Did you?
Yeah, we didn't find out then, but we do find out later.
Yeah, but when do we find that out?
It's Aguado tells us in the Calmlands. He apologizes to everyone. He's like, "You're a Blitzball player. I want to apologize on behalf of my people. Blah blah blah. Sorry, so sorry." The end.
bring it on.
Oh, those things are really annoying, the little mushroom guys.
They are. And this is why we should murder all of them.
Yeah, but we're so weak. We're so weak. And look, we've just been pollened.
Oh dear.
It's gonna play havoc with my allergies. I have to say, that's actually something that I've picked up.
Allergies?
Yeah, when I come back to New Zealand, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but when I come back to New Zealand, especially around summertime, never had allergies in my life. But all of a sudden I get puffy eyes and a runny nose. It's the worst. And it only happens when I come back to New Zealand. It never happens any other time, and it never happened growing up in New Zealand.
I have suffered from that exactly once in my life, and that is in Athens on the Pnyx. And I think that there is this particular kind of yellow flower that grows there that really does not agree with me. Either that, or it's just the essence of democracy that I'm allergic to.
I mean, democracy is proving itself to be pretty loathsome at the moment. Oh. Hey, we did something. That sounds like a quote, Anaphysic. That sounds like a quote. Is that a quote from Orin? I think that is an Orin quote.
Possibly, yeah.
I think he talks about it afterwards on the beach. I'm getting flashbacks now. I'm seeing it. 1,000 gil. And 10 potions. Handy. Handy. Oh man, this is gonna be a slog, Chris. Maybe we should use some of our levels to, get things. Is that an idea?
And be less terrible.
Being less
I think it
terrible
would
is
help
always
be
desirable.
less terrible.
Yeah, it's always desirable. And then we can look at the mess that we've made. Of Anna's lovely chart. But yeah. This is a particularly annoying route for what we're doing. Waka still only has 10 MP. 10. The number after 9 for those of you who don't follow my accent. Alright, so we'll open this thingy up. Waka. Learn things. Why do we only have 15 ability spheres left? Thought we got tons of those, Chris. What did you do with them all?
Nothing. I blame you.
You would. You would.
Yes.
Yes, accurate.
There is no wood here. This is just, it's what I'm doing.
I'm having a massive mind blank again. Is Lulu supposed to go that way? Or that way?
Yes.
This way, yes. Okay. She's gonna be Titus. Right. Well, good news, we've learned haste. Better news, it's someone who's got enough MP to use it a lot.
Hooray.
Worst news, it's someone
That'll
who's
make us
also...
less terrible.
Yeah, but she's also very, very slow in her own right. So by the time she gets to use haste, everyone else has already had their turn.
Details.
And Titus became more dodgy.
Good.
What we're looking for, maximum dodginess. Oh, it became more dodgy
I think what
again.
we're really looking for would be maximum magicness.
Yeah, that would be nice. Orin is still making his way to where he's going. But he's learned to be more cheerful, which is nice. I mean, that's it's some real character growth. It's some real character growth on his part. Look at us, Chris. We're just making a happy family. Yeah, that was the right way to go. Yuna's more healthy and more magic, which is not something that she requires to be. What is required to be. And again, is going to be more healthy. And one more space is more evasive. Kamari is still Kamari. And he's doing his best. That's everyone. I don't feel like we got that much more powerful. Just gonna say that. I'm gonna say that everything that we just increased was incidental.
No, it's fine. We have haste now.
No problem.
Yeah, and Titus thinks it's gonna be no problem. So obviously we're in trouble.
I trust Titus, don't you?
Absolutely not. He arrived on this continent 2 days ago.
It must be more than 2 days now, right?
So there's a day... It's definitely more than 2 days. So he slept in episode 1, which Chris was not on, and was a pre-recorded episode. So he slept there. No, he didn't. Sorry, episode 2, which you were on. He slept in Barge Temple. And then did he sleep on the ship as well?
I want to say yes.
And yeah, Anaphysic. Titus just keeps getting dodgier and dodgier with every level. I think it's Chris's influence.
Hey.
He's very shifty.
Between the two of us, you're the dodgy one, definitely.
I think that's harsh.
We've been expecting
I
you.
do not.
I love that we've been expecting you. We're not going to help you get there, but, you know, we've been expecting you. And just runs off with her chocobo.
We've been expecting you. We're looking forward to watching you fight all these fiends.
Yeah, we've been expecting you. Good luck. Hey, got it first time. Oh, and it's going to put us all to sleep.
Oh.
And everything in this battle is magic, so we're going to stay asleep for the maximum number of turns.
Oh.
Ah, those imps. I hate them. I hate the face where their genitals should be. I hate it. I can't not look. And they apparently hate Lu. No, it's not a mask. It's a legitimate face. Okay, can everyone wake up now? This is not fun.
No, no one can wake up now.
Actually,
It'll never be fun.
let's get Auron out. Let's use this and see if I can mess this up.
I'm sure you can.
I can absolutely mess this up. But I didn't!
Oh.
That was quite good, actually. I'm quite proud of myself.
As you should be.
I mean, not everyone can press buttons as quickly as me.
Does
And
anyone know life yet? Does Walker know life?
no, Waka doesn't have enough MP to use life. Remember, we discussed this last time.
Still?
Waka only has 10 MP.
What are we doing?
We're in trouble. We're in real trouble for the Sinspawn battle that's coming up. That probably,
Yeah, absolutely fine.
probably, by the look of the time, that's what's going to end the episode, if I'm honest. Oh look, they let Shalinda through. Why did they let Shalinda through?
I wasn't able to
Question.
stop them. As you can
I thought
see,
no one was talking to her anymore. She'd been sent to Coventry, which I hear is a pretty bad place to go.
So I decided that I would do everything in my power to help them.
That's a complete about face, Shalinda.
Maybe she was just so annoying that they decided to let her through.
And she got so annoyed, or she was so grateful for being let through, she decided to help them. Which completely goes against all her beliefs and all the teachings that she's told us she believes in. I think her voice character just had in her contract a couple more lines, so they needed to find more places to use her.
Or maybe she's working with Seymour.
I mean, possibly. I mean, I'm not going to say probably. Definitely not going to say probably. But possibly. Let's be furious. It makes me so mad that this is such a bad limit. As I try and
Would you
rotate
say that
my
it makes you
sticks.
furious?
No, it makes me sad. Because as we've discussed before at length, the only really major differentiating factor between characters, apart from their early game stats, is of course their limits, their overdrives. And it's sad that Lulu's is far and away the worst, in my opinion. Waka, stop dying. Alright, it's suggested that it's currently day 6.
I suppose I can believe that.
Yeah, that might track. We were in the middle of working it out, so if it's one day in Barge, one day on the ship, one day in Besaid, one day in Kilika, one day in Luca, this is the next. Oh, and we also sleep in the middle of Mihan High Road, right?
We do.
It's 6. Is this day 7, or does that make this day 7 or day 6?
It's something like that. It's about a week.
And yeah, Shalinda ends up being the head of the Temple Guard or something ridiculous at the end. Despite having no knowledge of
Clearly
tactics.
ill-suited for.
Yeah, she even admits that. But Yevon is in such upheaval. Uh-oh. That didn't look good.
Ow.
That didn't look good either. Come save us, Tony. I mean, it is pretty amazing that, as Anna points out, that this whole journey takes about 11 days. And we're going to probably stretch that out to dozens of Friday nights. 11-day story told as long as possible, with massive grinding episodes and hours of underwater water polo. Do you need underwater water polo, or is it just underwater polo? Or would underwater... If it was just underwater polo, would that imply that there were horses?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what water polo is.
It's anti-soccer, but in water.
That doesn't help.
You only touch the ball with your hands, and you throw it in goals. And you have to catch it one-handed, I think, for some kind of reasons. Apparently it's quite a violent sport.
That's just needlessly complicated.
Apparently it's quite a violent sport though, there's lots of like underwater kicking and scratching.
Included.
Yeah.
Because the referees can only see above water, right? Oh yeah, that's totally how I do it. I take my hand off and I rotate it with my full hand. It's just an awful mechanic. I don't know who thought it was a good idea, but they need to be found and they need to be stopped. Before more of their ideas get into good games. I mean, who knows what havoc they've wrought in the last 19 years or however long it's been since this game came out.
I choose to assume it was the same person who designed the Calmlands Chocobo race.
No, I think the person who designed the Calmlands Chocobo race knew what they were doing. Like, they knew what they were doing. Like, that person was all about evil. Like, yeah. Versus, I think the person who designed Lulu's Overdrive just didn't know what they were doing and did their best.
I suppose I can believe that.
I mean, it could be seahorses in underwater polo. But I prefer it to think of it as horses with floaties. Seahorses, much
like
too
that
small.
image.
What, a horse with floaties?
No, people playing water polo with seahorses.
You've seen real seahorses, right? You know how small they are.
Yeah, you'd need a big one, obviously.
Or thousands of them.
Oh, even better.
You have thousands of seahorses equals 1 horsepower. I mean, Tony, I'm not necessarily sure I agree with you there. I think Orin's limit, like, it rewards using it multiple times, right? Like, it's something that you, through experience, get better at. Whereas Lulu's is spinning a button as fast as you can, and for not much damage either.
Lady Summoner.
Oh, good question, I don't know. And in particular, the fact that you can't control which opponents the individual spells hit is really problematic, because it means you can't use it in a battle where there's any fiend that absorbs elemental damage when you only have elemental spells. So, yeah, it's just problematic. It was not well thought through. But, anyway, on to a different topic, because I can. Chris, what's been going on in the world of Pokemaniacal? Over on the blog, what's happened this week?
What has happened this week?
You wrote many things.
Yeah, I posted a new, thing.
Yeah, things are good.
Yeah, a new episode of, the thing. What's it called? The thing that I do.
A Pokemon Trainer is you thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah,
Which
every
is fun.
Friday that comes out. So
No, every second Friday.
every second Friday. Apologies. Really? Time's gone that quickly? Jeez.
Yeah.
So we have
And it was every Friday when I first started doing it, but I found that was sort of too much time away from the other things that I'm supposed to be writing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as fun as it is to write a creative story, other people expect other things. Like another thing that you did this week.
Yeah, I finished my review of...
You need to come back towards your mic, Chris. You've run away from it.
I have done no such thing.
Ooh, interesting. Charges from Tony that there might be mistakes in the Pokemon Is You. I did read this one before it went out. Not in its entirety. You changed some stuff between when I read it and when you posted it, right? Because I told you to.
Yes.
So I haven't seen the final copy. But if there are mistakes in it, Chris, I'm going to be highly disappointed. So I did not have time to read it while I was at work today.
No.
This is my not digital communications job, but my I still need more hours than digital communications gives me job at a local pub. It's as glamorous as it sounds. But no, I offered limited editorial notes on this one. In terms of the copy edit, I offered some notes about pacing. I think that's the best point to...
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. I would like Tony to answer with his with why he's charging it to be unedited.
Enough.
I haven't looked at any comments that suggest that it was.
Hmm.
Just Jeff, who was very excited. I miss Jeff. He very much likes the series.
Jeff.
Yeah, I like Jeff. Jeff the linguist, who definitely stole how his name works. Oh, Chris, disappointing. Aha, editing's not so easy now, is it?
Oh, shush.
Ah, Seronimo has a nice comment for you, Chris. He loves how the more educational your reviews have become over the years. That was English.
So do I.
I think it was.
So do I.
I have to say, I really enjoyed your Alolan Pokemon reviews because it meant that you could really lean into your fascination with the Pacific culture and your respect for it that's inherent because I mean you're part of a Pacific culture.
Tony's right. We have a missing pronoun here.
Even if I do turn out to be a bit stronger, I think it's just how they speak, right?
Yeah, it's the narrator speaking. I don't think that's how the narrator speaks.
It's how the narrator speaks.
I don't think it is.
Chris, it's how you speak. I've heard it. You do it all the time.
And the narrator isn't quite me. The narrator is not the same person as me.
Are you in the story?
No, I am not in the story.
Could you be in the story?
I have no plans to be in the story.
Should we run a competition to have one of the people in our chat appear in the story?
I don't know. I have toyed with the idea of making that a Patreon to give someone a cameo in the story.
Yeah, I guess we've already given out status of friend of the blog, friend of the editor already in this stream. We shouldn't be giving them too much. And I did see Seronimo's, I think it was Seronimo, say earlier that that feels wrong when you're not a patron. By turning up here, you're as good as a patron to me. Those people give money. Some people have money to spare. You guys are giving time, and I respect that.
This is true.
It's true that I respect that, or it's true that they're giving time?
Both of those things. At least as far as I know.
As far as you're aware, they're both true.
In your heart, I don't know whether you truly respect it. But you're saying that you do, and I choose to believe you.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, that was really cool. I really like that idea. That was you, Tony.
Yeah, the Tarzan swings, that was a great idea.
That was a great idea. I really like
I had
that.
fun writing that.
And I got to name Scallion, so I'm quite happy with that. I still think Scallion is the best named of all our Pokemon so far. I just really like the way it rolls off the tongue. None of this Nancy business.
What is wrong with Nancy?
Nothing's wrong with Nancy. I have a great aunt named Nancy. And that's the only thing I think of when I hear Nancy.
Besides, you have to use her full title, Nancy the Negator.
Which is so silly. Oh dear. We're about to have emotional cutscenes, Chris.
Are we? Oh dear.
But Tony does say that you did an amazing job writing that scene, and Chris does an amazing job of writing a lot of scenes, but yeah, that one was special. That one was special. But, as I say, we're going into a very melodramatic cutscene, so let's give it the proper attention it deserves.
Let's.
Why only you, sir? I want to fight too.
Orders are orders.
Yes, Geronimo, I am
Not a
Jim the
cadet
editor.
anymore, sir.
Correct.
Let me go with you and I'll prove it to them.
Guarding the command center is important too, you know.
How old is Gata?
But I came all the way from Besaid to fight Sid, sir.
I know, but an order's an order. To your post, Crusader.
I mean, he could be 14.
But, sir!
Honestly, yeah. Final
But he-
Fantasy characters are always younger than they seem.
Yeah.
He could be 12.
I get to complain about Nancy the Negator because I was upset that I wasn't chosen to name the Pokemon after doing such a good job with the first. He gave it to Chris. I was sad.
Actually, they gave it to the narrator.
Oh, was it the narrator? That was not me.
Yeah.
Were you Aura then?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an okay name.
The narrator will give different sounding
No
names.
problem.
If I remember, it was your decision. Mr. Not quite the narrator, but probably the narrator. And I think, Geronimo, the fact that I'm Jim the editor and have been for 9 years means that I can complain about just about anything. It just means Chris doesn't have to listen to me. And often doesn't.
Yeah. And I never do.
No, you sometimes listen.
I sometimes pretend to listen.
You take that back.
Okay, I never pretend to listen.
You take that back. Oh, Chris, interesting side effect. Sorry, oh, Jesus, I punched my microphone. I got really excited then, because I was going to go back to a story that Chris and I were talking about before we came on here. Chris and I speak for about 10 minutes, just to make sure that Chris is, alive. Since he's not normally out of a vegetative state at this point of the morning. So we talked for a little bit beforehand, and I was telling him about this strangest barbecue I had last night with my 70-something-year-old neighbor who had just been out of hospital and used to be a folk singer who played in bars and clubs around Scotland. Interesting man, lovely man. But it was me, so 30-year-old New Zealand me, this old Scottish guy, my current flatmate who's a young woman from Denmark, and the son of my landlord, who's half English and half Italian. I mean, it's almost a script for a joke. And apparently what he meant by barbecue, it was socially distanced. That's great. I thought it was going to be dinner at about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock maybe, a few beers, back home. Turns out, to this man, it meant, you know, start the fire about 7 o'clock, start drinking at 5 o'clock, start cooking at 8 o'clock, and stay out until 1:30 in the morning on a Thursday. And one interesting side effect, I made a salad for the barbecue, lovely roast sweet potato salad, and I had some of the leftovers when I got home from work tonight. And because it had been out on the same table as the barbecue, I had a smoked salad.
That sounds
They let you
interesting.
through.
It was really interesting.
Did it work?
I mean, it was smoky. It was all through.
Is that good?
It was certainly smoky.
At least there's no chance he'll get hurt. Why are you guys fighting
Anyway, back to this scene.
Almighty Al-Bed Machina enough?
I was very excited about my
They still need
telling
some
Chris
time
about
to
my
get
smoky
ready.
salad.
Our job is to keep
It really
Sin at bay
infused
till
the
they're
feta.
done.
Hmm.
That's about as expressive as Waka gets.
Waka,
Sounds like he's from
I
Jurassic
might not
Park.
get another chance to save us. It's about your brother.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, look that up, Anaphysic, with the same words used by the same sound, used by the creators of Jurassic Park to voice the ornithomimids. Sounds like an ornithomimid
I'm
voice.
sorry.
Sorry. Titus is holding him back.
That's enough, Walker!
You know you're in trouble when
we used
Titus
to
is
play
being the
Blitz
reasonable
together,
one.
Chapu used to say,
Also, Titus is such a tiny weed. How is he holding Walker back?
he said that
He's
when we were
very
in the
strong
club,
for his size.
he proposed to Lulu. And then one day, he goes off and becomes a crusader, just like that.
Chapu also said to me that being with your girl is good. But keeping Sin far away from her is better.
Lou, you knew?
I don't like that line.
Luzu
The internal
told me
rhyme in it throws me.
before we
Mm.
left.
It's not great, is it?
She hit me too.
I wanted to see that scene.
The vanguard are to assemble on the beach.
That's my cue.
Luzu, don't die out there.
I really like this part.
So you can hit me more?
Lots more.
Hey, say what you want about Waka, but he turns on a dime.
Suzu,
Like
please.
emotionality. He
Please
becomes
don't
reasonable
go.
very quickly.
I have to, Yuna.
Let him go. The man has already chosen his path, as you did when you became a summoner.
Ooh, foreshadowing.
Mm. He's got a point.
It would
does.
be a long time
Here we go.
before I ever really understood the reason
Takes-
why Yuna let Luzu pass that day.
Takes Titus telling everyone in the camp circle that he didn't really know what was going on, and everyone else is like, yeah, we know. Cutscene was so long, my controller turned itself off. Alright, well let's make sure that we've saved, because it would be a little embarrassing to die and have to do this all over again.
It would be.
Embarrassing, but completely par for our course, right?
Mm-hmm. I think there's another save point up here somewhere, isn't there?
I'm pretty sure there is. Oh, do you know what, Chris? We might not have time for this.
I don't think we do, because there's more talking here.
There's so much more talking, and there are big cutscenes. We might have to leave the big battle with Sin until next week, and start off next week with a massive battle.
Should be exciting.
I mean, exciting, terrifying, worrying. Are you going to be around next week?
I think I will be, yes.
He really hates them, huh?
It's always the best move when you're wearing sandals.
He left the sword Waka
Kick a
gave
cannon.
him in Besaid, and he fought with an Albed Machina weapon instead.
Does that
It's
mean
got
a
nothing
gun?
to do with it.
Yeah.
I just hate
Yeah,
these sacrilegious contraptions.
Yeah. Just yes. Which we find out later the entire Temple Guard at Beveld use. So, guns and flamethrowers. Well, let's see what these guys say.
Optimistic.
I mean, good on him for believing in himself, right? And there's nothing much up there. Oh, no, there's someone. We missed someone. What's he want? God, they don't know what they're doing. They're basically just hoping. Trial and error. Oh, that's something I didn't need to know.
Oh?
Apparently, according to Anaphysic, the Gallimimus calls in the first movie are mostly mares in heat.
Like, that's what they sound like, or that's where they got the sound effect?
That's where they got the sound from.
Fun! Very fun.
Tortoises make up some of the sounds that they make as well. Doing Foley on those movies would have been so interesting. You basically just get to design what a million-year-old creature sounds like. That's one big Sinspawn.
This is clearly a bad plan.
It's such a bad plan.
It won't work anyway.
Don't say that.
The Yuna still kind of has hope.
It might be a hopeless campaign.
And
And it might mean defying Yevon.
it might be a hopeless
But
campaign.
the Crusaders and the Albed, they're doing their best to defeat Sin. They
It
want
doesn't
to rid
sound like
Spira
she
of
thinks
Sin
it's a good
forever.
plan.
No!
And that's just
no.
what we want too, isn't it? Isn't it?
All right, all right.
Alright,
I still
alright,
think Mappin
alright.
are bad news. They're forbidden for a reason.
Are they though?
Lady Summoner, there you are. The command center is that way. Maester Keenock is also there.
Is another Maester
Mr.
here?
Keenock too?
Yes. Please, hurry, my lady.
Oh well. Get to walk past more guns, talk to more Crusaders. These people won't be around much longer.
So the fact that Keenock is apparently involved with this too just puzzles me even more. Like, we've got 2 out of 4 Maesters signing on to this thing. So, like...
Yeah, but 2 out of 4. It could be more than that. Micah could be here in spirit. I mean, he is dead. He's hi Jasper here. Nice of you to join us once more. Just talk to some. Hey, talk to me, you bastard. There we go.
My point is,
That was worth it.
It doesn't really do as much to discredit the opponents of Yevon if
Jesus.
2 of the highest members of the Church of Yevon are signing on to it.
Yeah. I mean, yes. This is a dark line.
Oh dear. That is a literal child.
There's a literal child who is telling, "Come on, be better. You want to avenge your sister.
Oh.
Not lines I'm overly fond of. What do we want to know, Chris? About the cannons. At no charge. Oh, good. We've got cannons. What are the Chocobo Knights going to do? A skilled rider.
A skilled rider or achieve some combat merit.
So, what you just have is some great swordsman who has no idea how to ride a chocobo, or a very good chocobo racer that doesn't know how to use a sword.
Yeah, Clasco.
Oh yeah, fair.
I love Clasco, honestly.
Yeah, he does seem to be your spirit's character. And let's find out about the last thing of this operation. Of research Sin's past behavior. So wait, they captured Sin Spawn that Sin hasn't returned for, in the hopes that if they got them all together, Sin would return for the ones that he had left behind. It had left behind, they had left behind, Sin had left behind.
What are Sin's pronouns?
Them. They, them.
I think that's probably best.
Look, it's our friendly Owaka.
Monopoly's a great thing. Oops.
Yeah, give us discounted prices, thank you. Is there anything worth having here? Anything we can afford here is probably a better question. Water ward is nice. Diffuse ward is nice. Better than defense +3. Alright, that's us. And with that, Chris, I think this is the best time before a whole bunch of cutscenes and a whole bunch of 2 battles and Titus swimming out to sea once more. I think it's time to say goodbye.
Good stopping point, yeah.
Yeah, TKO is Stone Touch, right? But you don't get experience, if I remember correctly, from petrified enemies, which kind of makes it useless as a technique.
That's not fair at all.
I know, it's a bit dumb. But anyway, thanks everyone for joining us. It's been fun again. Sorry if it was a bit light on the action. We just had to get through some of this, you know, basic story stuff in order to get to the next exciting bit. Anything you want to say, Chris?
No, I think I'm good.
And yes, Jasper, we end every week at 9:30 British time, 8:30 New Zealand time, and whatever time it is right now, your time. So we've been going for 90 minutes, which is about as long as Chris can stand to be in the same chat as me. And about as much time as I can spare these days. So, what does Tony not mean? Oh, yes, Don't Touch. Yes, see you all next week. It's been fun. Thank you very much for joining us again. So I've been Jim the Editor, and yeah, I hope you hear from me soon.